this is a video about meeting traffic and stopping for oncoming cars when you've got either parked cars on your side of the road and parked cars on the other, or just one on your side perhaps, and you need to stop. So let me tell you that changing lanes is the most dangerous thing with driving. It hands down is, and that's not what this video is about, but changing lanes is the most dangerous. And then the second thing to that really is meeting traffic because of judgment. You know, students get way too close to parked cars and nearly hit them. And you know, apart from pulling out at a roundabout, you know, meeting traffic and changing lanes are very dangerous. So I've made loads of videos about that, and I'm actually driving and showing you how to stop. But this is a quick video to remind you that you need to take the reins and you need to be independent, okay? Now, obviously, you need to have enough lessons to learn how to position. So you're 2 car lengths away from the back of the car, or at a minimum, really a car length away. So you're away from the car, so that when you pull away, you're not going to be shaving the car, as they say. That's what the technical term is, shaving the car. So you're not too close to it. So you can pull out and be away from the side of the back right side of the car. And you can be seen. You can look down the road. You can see down the road. So it's a better position to be slightly stuck out a little bit if you can do. Watch my other video if you need to actually see what I'm saying. 2 car lengths back at least, or at least at 1 car. And then you're checking your mirrors. And if you don't know, don't go. Now, the main thing is that you want to become independent. It's so important that you're independent. I had a huge long conversation, which was extremely interesting, with my students saying, do you know what? I really need to be independent, don't I, Ros? Like, I really shouldn't be asking you if I can do this, or if I can fit, or if I should take the reins. You know, she's been to test already, but she, you know, came back to her next lesson and started asking me, can I fit here? And then she said to me at the end of the lesson, I really need to be independent. I really must stop asking you questions, because she's using me like a crutch. And it's insanely important. We were coming up to situations where there was parked cars on the left and the right, and she's still asking me, like, can I fit? When I think she knows the answer. But I turned around to her and I said, look, if you had sat at home and you had worked hard and you had saved, let's just say £7,000, right? You'd saved it carefully in an account, and you'd got £7,000, and you bought a car. Let's just say it's a big shiny red car, yeah, or whatever your favourite colour is. You've got this beautiful car for 7 grand. You've spent a year, 2 years getting your 7 grand, and you've bought it. It's your baby, right? You've also got your insurance, which is probably going to be quite high if I'm talking to a 17 to 25-year-old, which I assume I am, although I'm saying that this channel is for everyone, but my main body of people is going to be 17 to 25 probably. So your insurance is probably going to be in the thousands as well. So you've got your £7,000 car, and then you've spent thousands of your insurance, okay? In those meeting traffic situations, if you don't know, you're not going to go. I strongly believe that in a lot of cases, not all, but I strongly believe that if I was sat in your car when you've scrimped and saved and paid for everything yourself, that in those meeting traffic situations, if you had bought your own car, you'd stop. I really do strongly believe. So my point is, when you drive your instructor's car, I think that you really should believe that the car is yours. You really must stop at a certain time to stop asking, can I fit? And hopefully your driving instructor is trying to release you and say, what do you think? At a certain point, when your driving instructor knows that you should know the answer, they should really change their tactic to say, what do you think? Do you think you can fit through the gap? What's your inner voice and gut instincts and feelings telling you? Oh, I'm not sure. That's a stop. I'm not sure. That's a stop. Do you think you can go? That's a stop. You don't even try, because you're going to be going past the car at speed. Make sure that if you don't know, you don't go. Or certainly slow down and lower your gear so you've got more time for better judgment, okay? It's really, really important, okay? When you're with your driving instructor, try extremely hard to believe that the car is yours, that you've spent all that money on it with your hard-earned cash, and you bought it. You didn't get given it by your parents, or you didn't get gifted it by your grandparents and all that, which happens a lot. You bought it with your own money. You would protect it more. Sometimes I say to my students, imagine you're driving a Porsche or a Bentley or something crazy like that. Would you really try and fit through the little gap when you've spent like 85 to 120,000 pounds or whatever it costs? I don't even know the cost of those cars because I'm never going to have one. I don't care for it. But and I'd have to be at work for the rest of my life. Maybe I can get one when I'm 95. We'll see. But if you had that kind of car, you're not going to be like, I don't know whether I can go, so I'm just going to give it a go. You're not going to do that. You're just going to be like, I don't know, I'm not going to go. And then you're going to look at the space again and go, actually, yeah, that's okay, right? So pretend that the car is yours. Take the flame, take the responsibility, take the independence. When the time is right and your test is booked and you're close to test, you should really be dropping all these questions of, do you think I can go? You're the driver. You don't want to rely on your driving instructor. Let them go when you can, when it's safe to do so, let them go, and they should be letting you go because you are a driver. You're not a learner anymore. Yeah? You're not a learner anymore. My last student unfortunately failed because she was driving like a learner on her driving test. Even though I talk about this all the time, they don't want to see you being a learner. They don't want to see it, guys. The whole point of you having all these driving lessons is to say, I'm not a learner anymore. See, I've hired you today to look at my drive because I'm not a learner anymore. It's ridiculous to even contemplate that I need somebody to sit with me. So my last student failed for not overtaking a bike. She just stayed behind the bike and stayed behind the bike, and there was plenty of opportunity for her to go, and she didn't. And then when she came up to a roundabout, she stopped. Somebody on the right in that road was coming out of a separate T-junction and hadn't even got to the roundabout yet. And my students stopped and waited for them to come out of their separate T-junction to then arrive at the roundabout and then go. And the examiner just said, look, I know it's your first test. I heard him say this. I know it's your first test. I know you're trying to look safe for me, but I'm marking you on whether your judgment is good. Through all the lessons that you've had, you should have been working on your judgment. And if you don't show me that you've learnt the good judgment, I can't pass you. And it happens all the time. Learners go into their driving tests and they think, right, I'm going to be really careful today. I'm going to drive really slowly and I'm going to stop at everything. Or they say things like, if I say to them, how did you sleep last night? How did you get on? Because I always ask that, how was your sleep last night? If they say to me, oh yeah, my grandparents came over and we had like a spaghetti bolognese, and they said to me, look, what you need to do, Jason, is you need to stop at all the roundabouts to make yourself look careful tomorrow, because that's what they're looking for, careful. It's not the right advice. Sometimes you need to stop at roundabouts. Sometimes if they're clear, you need to go. Stopping at all roundabouts on your test for no reason is dangerous for the person behind. You will fail for that. And that advice is given out by very kind, caring grandparents sometimes, or other people, and it's the wrong advice. Yeah, that person speaking to you for 5 minutes after you've had all these driving lessons and your instructor has been trying to make progress, make you make progress, analysing, seeing, using judgment, and trying to get out of these roundabouts without stopping when it's safe. If it's clear, second gear. If it's clear, maybe not stopping. Yeah. Don't stop at all roundabouts because somebody has told you last night, or 4 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour before your test, stop at everything. It's the worst advice ever. The examiner's looking for your judgment. Like, does this person, have they had enough lessons to judge things? Yeah, really, really important. Act as if the car is yours when you've got meeting traffic. I spent all this money on this car. When you're coming up to a roundabout, if it's clear, second gear. They want to see you as a driver, not a learner. If you present as a learner, you will fail, because he will just think, oh, you're a learner. You need to go and have more lessons. So you're a driver, you see? So don't present as a learner. It is vitally important. I would say it's in the top 3 things of reasons why people fail their driving test. Driving too slowly and hesitation is right up there. If it wasn't number 1, I'd be surprised. Pulling off from the test centre is probably a close second without blind spot, and you just pull away into traffic straight away. If you, that's one in Cheltenham that happens, and you know. But look, guys, you know, I hope this bit of information helps you. I have made moving videos on this, of course I have. So if you want to see me driving it and showing you the correct position, please go and find the videos, yeah? Obviously, this is just a kind of moral, like, supporting kind of conversation that I've given you today. So I hope you're okay. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and if you're watching this on a Sunday when I release it. And of course, I will see you on the next one.